Hello and good evening. Today I'll be flying Etihad's economy class from Rome Fiumicino Airport over to Abu Dhabi Airport. And for this flight, I've booked the absolute cheapest economy light fare. In fact, I paid just 129 euros for it because at the moment, Wizz Air and Etihad are battling for customers over here at Rome Fiumicino Airport. A few years ago, Etihad would have been charging 500, 600, maybe 700 euros for this flight one way. Right now, they're having to charge as little as 129 euros on many of the dates just because they can't compete with Wizz Air's low prices unless they do that. So, interestingly, this flight is entirely full, so I don't think I'm the only person that's noticed this, but it's very good to know. And it's also the same situation over at Vienna Airport, where Wizz Air, or Wizz Air Abu Dhabi to be exact, has also come into the market. But I am just about to board. I've almost reached the aircraft, so let's see how this flight is. Hi, how are you?
Good. Okay, this one please.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thanks so much.
16. This is the very front of the economy. Got to go a whole nother row back, actually. This is one of Etihad's Dreamliners. That 3-3 seating that I hate so much. But I'm traveling with my wife, so at least we'll be sitting next to each other. And we didn't select or pay for seats or anything either.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
And I've made it to 33. Here it is. And voila, I've made it to a middle seat, kind of towards the back of the economy class actually, and one of the world's best airlines. So let's see how this is. It's not that bad actually. See how it is when people recline though. And it looks pretty well equipped. Got this nice Etihad looking pillow. Nice blanket wrapped in almost shiny, dark. Well, it's like a Christmas gift or an Eid gift or a Hanukkah gift or whatever. It's nice. The one thing I like about how they've got this towards the back of the economy cabin equipped is that there's two pockets. You can put stuff here, you can put stuff here. It's kind of convenient. A computer fit here easily. Oh yeah, and I forgot to show you. Some sort of little amenity kit here. Let's see what the amenities look like. Oh, it's wrapped. This is like really like a holiday on every time you fly Etihad economy. This isn't even premium economy or anything. It's very nice. And I'm saying that sitting in the middle seat. Yeah, got it open. Breath must smell good. Boy, what is all this? Sleeping mask? Probably won't be using that. I don't think sleeping in economy is really so worth tempting. But these are nice. Oh, and Colgate. Alright. I think everybody's okay with using Colgate. And I'm gonna go ahead and assume that these aren't the kind of headphones you take with you, but they're nice. It's nice that they give you headphones, and well, there's no isolation with them really. Maybe a tiny bit. Etihad headphones. I don't know. They feel pretty decent. See how they work a little bit later. And since I'm not flying on the Wizz Air flight, it's competing with this flight, I'll get like a full meal and stuff. And the people are pretty nice boarding. I don't know. I think it's worth paying a little bit more. Oh yeah, and they let you bring almost a full-size bag on. It says only up to 7 kilos. I think I have more than 7 kilos, but nobody checked that at the gate. So, you know, your mileage may vary. But so far, upon boarding, this Etihad flight looks like it's going to be all right. And we're going to get into Abu Dhabi just a little bit after 6 a.m. So I think I'm going to kick back, relax, and let's see what this flight is like. Well, we've just started our pushback, and it looks like we'll be to our final takeoff runway pretty soon. But it's a little bit hard to tell because, well, you know, the windows are pretty far away from me. And that's not to mention that it's nighttime out, and this entire flight will be during the night. So unfortunately, we won't have any cool views from the window this time. And the end takeoff was pretty smooth, and we reached altitude pretty quickly. So now we're just cruising. I can already smell the food being prepared, so I think service will start pretty soon. But in the meantime, the entertainment is pretty on point on this Etihad flight. There's a pretty large selection of TV shows, movies, and some other stuff too. They even have live TV. And although internet is not free, and I really think it should be, it's only $9.99 in USD, and they don't put any data limit. So for a 6 or so hour flight, that's a pretty decent deal. It's a really good idea on flights of over 2 hours to get up around every 2 hours and do a little bit of, you know, stretching, walking around. So that's what I'm doing right now. And since I was already up, I thought I'd just stop by the bathroom before the post-meal service rush. It was pretty clean, and the tile design on the wall was a nice touch. But it did feel a little bit cramped for a bathroom on a wide-body aircraft. And the cruise just started service, and the drink cart is just about to get to me. And I've heard that Etihad has really good mango juice, so I'm going to give that a try. Go ahead. Okay, chicken please. Thank you, sir. Airplane bread. This is orzo, nicely packaged. Tinfoil. You have mango juice? Yes. Yes. Thanks. Italian water. Thank you, sir. And mango juice. Everything's just better with mangoes. But let's unveil the chicken. I think it might be chicken tikka masala, looking at what my neighbor has. Smells good. And in economy class, you get real cutlery on Etihad. Not bad. Etihad knife. Etihad fork. Etihad spoon. But I guess I'll start with the appetizer, the orzo. Orzo's good. It's medium oily, a tiny bit peppery. Now let's give that chicken and crossbody rice a try. It's not every day that you get kind of like Indian food on an airplane, unless you're in India. It's a nice combination of savoriness and some sweetness from that coconut milk. Their chicken matches perfectly with mango juice. And now it's time for a little bit of chocolate mousse. Doesn't look chocolate on the top. Pretty good. A little too sweet for my taste, but pretty good. I'm now about halfway through the flight, and they just came by with some coffee. And that meal was pretty good, by the way. So this coffee's a nice follow-up to that. And hypothetically, in economy on Etihad, you could just always order the drinks you want from the screen. But I haven't had to try that since the service seems to be pretty frequent.
And due to the ongoing conflict on the ground in the Middle East, we had to route around it and take a slightly longer route that added a little bit to the flight time.
Well, we just started our descent into Abu Dhabi airport. And this 5.5, 6 hour, whatever it was, flight was fine. But for most of the flight, the lights were off and the expectation seemed to be that everybody tries to sleep. Pretty normal for an overnight flight. But my only complaint is that there was no breakfast or drink service before the descent. Again, landing around 6 a.m., that's not that abnormal, but I think Etihad could really consider adding that into this flight. But I was still able to get a hold of one of the flight attendants and get a coffee, so I'm happy enough. So for this being the absolute worst seat that Etihad has to offer, it really was not that bad. Now don't get me wrong, I would not choose to sit in the middle seat like this again, but if I did happen to snag an amazing deal again and it meant that I had to sit in the middle seat for another 5 or 6 hours, I wouldn't have to complain about it too much. And we're just about to land. And while I'm not necessarily looking forward to the 109 degree Fahrenheit, 43 degrees Celsius weather that I'm about to encounter here, I am looking forward to the luxury hotels that I'll be staying at the United Arab Emirates. So stay tuned for videos about that soon too. Thank you. Bye-bye. That AC is pumping. For some reason, the guy driving this thing just told us to hop on. So now I'm waiting for it to get going. So, if you're ever in Abu Dhabi airport, I guess you can take a free ride. This airport is impressive. It's my first time here. It's a Qantas jet over there. But I think the vast majority of the planes operating out of this airport are Etihad because it's their hub. And if you didn't know, they're the national carrier. The national carrier of the UAE. I'm not saying this is my new favorite airport, but let's see. What do you think about your UAE experience so far, Rasa? It's a grand entrance. It's another one. Get the feeling there's a lot of golf carts in this country.